Are you all watching something or?
No, not really. It's just Nick Ricada lying about getting poked in the head
I'm
with a
not
penis.
feeling 100%, so I think I'd be better off calling like Greek's brother at a time when I can sound not like I'm, having an overdose of heroin or something like.
Well, the trick there, Didi, is to stop taking heroin.
Well, I nearly told a lie there. I was going to say I've never done heroin in my life, but I actually have tried it. No. So yeah, that's definitely whoever was trying to throw me off track by telling me that wasn't his address. Maybe he doesn't live there, but his papa and his brother do, and his brother's new wife.
Wonder why they want to throw you off the scent, Didi.
Where they want to throw me
off the scent, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not going to get into it, but people have their reasons. People get scared about being doxxed, and he's done it to a lot of people, and he's not dumb. He's just played dumb. So he's been holding people's doxes over people's heads for quite some time now. That shit doesn't work with me for obvious reasons. Yeah, unless
That's right, because people on heroin don't care about their identity.
No, unless it meant that they were going to go after somebody I care about in the US,
Oh, Didi, you don't care about me, shucks.
Well, you're not in the US. You're in Hong Kong.
Shucks,
I find it hard to care about somebody in China.
How sweet.
But I love you regardless. How are you?
Sorry, why are you drained today?
Because I had the bloody tubes. They were either shoved down my throat or yanked out too quickly after the general anesthetic. On last Thursday.
Well, I couldn't tell you what the general aesthetic was, but I presume you mean general anesthetic.
Yeah, sorry. Also, it's early in the morning, so. But yeah, my throat feels like I've been eating sandpaper for a while. I've been eating sort of soy yogurt and stuff like that.
You've got to get on the meat diet, Didi.
I know you keep saying.
Just one slice of meat. Nice piece of beef.
Maybe a little Polish sausage.
Didi is attempting a marriage proposal, Didi.
I've had somebody order some nice fish oil for me. Some omega-3s, but yeah,
I haven't had smoked cod liver, canned and fern oil, delicious.
I haven't had the results from the biopsy yet. So yeah, that I'll have those in. They said 2 weeks, so it'll be a week now. 2 to 3 weeks now in the spics, but yeah. But what do you guys think? Do you think I should? Do you want it for entertainment value? For me to call the brother and tell him all the horrible shit that Greek's been saying about him?
Do it in a roundabout way about cheesecakes.
I don't think the brother would be the type to have a patience for that, but I've looked quickly into it and he seems to have a company. But if he was a drug dealer, he's cleaned up his act. It makes me think that, in fact, the only drug dealer was Greek. But he, would say that it was him and his brother. And then he would cry to me about the obituary that I found online last night of the grandmother that died and said that his dad and his brother stole everything away.
Well, actually, who told me that a year ago?
Right.
When did you hear about that, Didi?
I don't know. This count.
Was it a year ago?
More than that.
Okay. A year or so, and then he said his roof collapsed as well. That was another one. You would have heard that one too, Didi. Needed cheesecakes to clad the roof. Close the hole.
It's a binder.
That's right. Pretty waterproof if you think about it. Once it
Mix
gets
a little
dry.
pocket sand in there, and you got some concrete.
Bit of pocket lint to strengthen up the substrate. What is new, JDanks? What's this about Rust tutorials?
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to teach myself how to program.
In Rust?
Yes, because that seems like where the direction's going. Like, not the game, the program.
I know. But it would have been funny if you were just doing Rust tutorials.
I mean, I've got like 2,500 hours. I don't think I need tutorials at this point.
What are you hoping to do? Like build from the ground up whole programs?
Well, so obviously you got to start small.
I did have an idea for you, actually. If you do want to try that, have you ever heard of Godot?
Yes.
Okay, that's a good way to visually see how your code does things, I think.
Sorry. Apologies.
I don't necessarily need the visual part of it.
Depends what you're making, though. A lot of things are visual, though. Like input-output mechanisms, even that. If you got the visual understanding, you can tweak it easier. What do you think, Didi?
I have no idea. I've only got half a brain to function on.
That's all right. Have some cheesecake.
I've been craving some, oddly enough, and ice cream, obviously. But
Go have some.
But no, I think what I might wait until tomorrow. I mean, they were not on speaking terms, so I doubt that going to be able to alert the brother. And then there's always the sister that can be called. What do you guys think? I'm being too harsh?
Well, he's been fleecing you of your cheesecake fund for years, Didi.
Yeah, he did. He did
And not
ask
just
me
you, other innocent people.
$2,000.
On the highway robbery, almost stole JDanks' cheesecake.
He said he would
use Rust code to send
He
him
said
away.
he would pay me back because his NFT, which he was going to call Didi, was going to be all the rage very soon.
I see you're easily tricked with flattery, Didi. Can I have $2,000?
Oh yeah, yeah.
How sweet of you. Such a noble effort and sacrifice for a good cause.
I mean, he sounds like I could never make out in the last 4 years whether he sounds like an alcoholic, like he's on a shit ton of pregabalin, or on Xanax, but I've heard Crack Rock Chris sound a lot more sober than him for the last 3 years.
Crack Rock Chris has turned over a new leaf and is a resplendent, resurgent.
I'm proud of him. I'm very proud of him, to be honest. And I've got a soft spot for Crack Rock Chris. He's been trolled to death, and
Crack Rock Chris has a soft spot. Nobody touches it.
But
JDanks used to have a soft spot. Now it's healed.
Mm-hmm.
When I found out that Gamble went after him again, I was just like, enough.
Just last week, again.
No, but that was before that. It was about a month ago, and I came back after being offline for a while, and then I just went after Gamble in a cat on another server, and just called him out very bullshit.
His clutches.
Well, he tries to lie to the new people, but I've known him for 6 years, so I know all about his shit. So the fact that he calls Chris a junkie and the fact that he finds dating a 16-year-old crazy is nothing short of hypocritical.
He also bans me because I call him Pilly Willy. He doesn't like that.
Oh, he's a sensitive boy, hasn't worked a day in his life. You
It's gonna
know?
be fun to watch his little house of cards get fucking knocked over. It's
Oh,
gonna be great.
but have you seen his 2 most recent videos?
I don't watch any of his content. I just hear
I
about things, and I'm
I,
hearing
I
about
heard
all this
about it,
swatting and
and
stuff.
I haven't been watching the screens, so I've been hearing, for the most part. And it was just like so sociopathic. It's like, wow, you really do enjoy hurting people. I know, I get it, trolls do, but he really sounded like
How's that, Paulie?
a complete.
would be best friends.
Well, they were. They were trying to buddy up before.
Well, now he's with what's his name, Marty. Music Babes Marty, who's another guy I can't stand. It's like,
That guy's weird.
No, he
yeah, of course
curates
he's
a
weird.
pedophile.
But it was not. But yeah, even as Cyrus is a pedophile, he's definitely is a predator. There was entrapment, so that makes it impossible for the legal route to take place. So
he still thought he was texting a 14-year-old though.
no, I'm not saying that's not right. But when is it evil? Is it even plain when, like Gamble, you're only going after junkies or severely mentally ill
Yeah,
people?
the weak
In
and
the
infirm.
case of Cyrax, somebody who is disabled, inbred, and mentally challenged as a result of incest.
Well, actually, Didi, it was disabled, inbred, disabled again, and then inbred again.
Yeah, see. You know what I mean? This is what pisses me off. It's like I can't. I know Elaine has her issues, but she's nowhere near. If you look at the Aaron Carters and I'm no Aaron Carter fan, and I know Chris has done his shit as well, that he shouldn't have done, but I find it very bizarre that these guys like Marty or Gamble only go after people, and supposedly, Gamble has this university degree, is in psychology, and is more intelligent than anybody else on the internet, but he doesn't come after me.
Marty
No,
looks like the
praise on
type
the
of
weak.
guy that hangs out at the food part of like a sports game and like never leaves there. He's just
He's
there.
addicted to gambling
Well, I'm talking about like the food,
as well. And he has 2 murders. He has 2 murders under his belt.
Okay, explain this murder, because I'm lost on the lore for this one. How
Okay,
did he?
so I did a little bit of digging. Again, basically, he used to go to the Juggalo, gatherings or whatever they're called.
The
And
lawless
he was a
gathering
drug
of the
dealer. He was a
Juggalo.
meth head, or is a meth head. And some say it's 1 prostitute, some say it's 2 prostitutes died from the batch of drugs that he sold them. And then his girlfriend at the time, called Jamie Lynn, also died of a drug OD. It's not on the same day. So he's another guy like Controller. A bunch of deaths around them.
Well, hold on. Is it murder or manslaughter? You'd have to knowingly know the drugs would kill him, right?
I don't know. I have to read the stuff myself. See exactly.
It depends. Maybe I don't know. I don't know how sick in the head the guy is, but he seems
only because like gathering is like, I don't think you understand gathering to the fullest extent.
No, I don't.
I've never been, but I have a lot of close personal friends that go every single year.
Yeah.
And I've
Do they
seen
know how
videos and
magnets
I've
work?
heard shit. Yo, they have some big Juggalo documentary. They literally interview my neighbor.
But what's the deal then? What are you trying to tell me?
Well, there's people go really hard, bro. You know?
I get that. But
people walking around with a bag with a shard of meth the size of your head, just chipping off pieces and selling.
Yeah, I've heard that too. But there's a lot of coincidences between these troll cows trolling, trolls trolling troll cows, and like in the sense of like Controller gave her husband the drugs that killed him. She didn't give him heroin, but she knew that he had relapsed, and she gave him the Suboxone, that she was taking. Therefore, he had too much in his system when he actually jacked up the needle, and then he OD'd in the toilet. And this I know for a fact because there were people around the time. And Controller and Marty know each other for 5-6 years now, so they know each other's stories. It just seems to be like a sleazy kind of, I don't know. Man, what's the beating up a guy half your size?
Oh no,
Yeah,
I would beat that guy up. I would have no issues doing it. I'd feel good about it.
really?
Cyrax, yeah, I would beat the shit out of him.
I really have not watched. Sorry, I can't bring myself to.
I'm like pretty deep on the lore on that one. Yeah, I would yeah, kick his fucking teeth in, like no problem. Like I would there wouldn't even be a second thought like 5 years later. I wouldn't even think about it. I would just laugh. Oh yeah, beat up Cyrax.
All right.
Fuck that guy.
Okay,
He's
but
a
from a
scumbag.
legal point of view, Jason, from a legal point of view, my point is, if you're trying to go after predators or pedophiles, then the last thing you do is entrapment, because that's going to take you nowhere in a court of law.
I mean, I've said as much to Marty though. I'm like, listen, like you know, in the heat of the moment, if you had to do something and beat this nigga up, whatever. I talked to Marty like 2 days after he beat him up or whatever, and I was just like, I'm like, at the end of the day, now you're famous for beating up a retard.
It's not only retards.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you have cemented yourself in that lore. It would be one thing if it's some shit that just happens out in the world and you just hand some retard their ass because you know whatever happened, but like that's that's on the internet forever.
Yeah, but it's like Gamble going after Chris when Chris is, and they're making him shove up. And I know a lot of you are, responsible for some of this, the shoving of the cotton balls. I remember I was around
for that.
I was around in Bitwave at the time. But that's why I always held on to Fetch's docs as well. Fetch was a piece of shit. And he used to talk shit about all of you to Gamble in VC whilst I was there. And call.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, Gamble may suck, but Chris was like hanging out with him for months and stuff. Like,
but what does Chris know? Chris's brain.
Gamble does everything in the open. He he'll swat everybody in the call with them. Like he does it all in front of them.
Does that make it any better? Has he ever gone after somebody who is on his? He always likes to boast about,
Well, no, I'm just saying Chris pretending like he didn't know after the fact is kind of weird.
No. I'm aware of that. But I mean,
I remember Chris asking Gamble to do stuff for him. So
yes, but because okay, I mean, and it might go back and forth forever, where he has this weird infatuation with Gamble because Gamble tricks a lot of people, until I was. Went to the
it's not a weird infatuation. Gamble's swatted him a dozen times at least. It's pretty realistic.
I'm talking about the infatuation about him being wealthy and that when he's a fucking loser. That's what he is. I have recordings of him crying, begging me to help him. Begging him. Like, I've ruined my life. And I find it odd that he goes after people not on an even plane as he considers himself to be. He thinks of himself as the next best thing to slice bread. So why not go after people that are not crystallans? And, why not go after people that are a little bit more challenging? So for me, that kind of trolling doesn't really work. But that's just me. I'm a different generation, I don't, it's and and then Fetch was playing you all double, talking smack about you.
Isn't Crystal Ann pretty gross too, though?
Pardon?
Isn't Crystal Ann pretty gross?
Crystal Ann is another junkie who doxed me fake doxed me, false doxed me, re-doxed me, whatever, 1,000 times, has, called rape out on people who didn't rape her. She was discharged from the army, saying
with the fake baby doll, she pretends is a real kid, right?
But there's another mentally challenged, which Gamble poached from the Aaron Carter community. I mean, you guys can do what you want, but I don't like the whole thing playing godlike with mentally challenged people, because Crystal Ann is mentally challenged. She's not just a piece of shit, she's mentally challenged. Whereas Gamble supposedly has this head start where he's had a private education, has a rich daddy, which is debatable, blah de blah de blah, is a hacker, again, debatable. Right?
Well, he's not, but Monkey Man is.
Yeah. And then before that, he's had other people who did it for him in other servers. But, it's just, I don't know, I don't like it. I don't like it. But then with Greek, what I find is that Greek was really sneaky about doing it to people. Doing it to me, okay, I can understand it. I'm a retard female, who everybody's trolled, so okay. But he's done it to some of you guys who he's been hanging out with and who have been kind to him. So that's more my issue. It's not about what he's done to me. It's like it's no big deal in the grand scheme of things going on in my life. Well, but I mean, he spent hours and hours and hours of my time in BC buttering me up just to eBay in the most shameless way, and then brag about it in Hitler's server when I called him out for it, insisting that I'm white. I'm not. I'm a fucking Catholic. That's neither here nor there. And that I deserved it, and and that we were all retards, and we deserved being scammed. It's like, well, maybe you deserve what you're going to get now. I just hate people who think that it's always everybody else's fault. I've worked since I was 14 years old. I wasn't given anything. I paid for my university degrees. I don't take kindly to people like thinking that I owe them anything just because they think, that I'm rich and they're poor and therefore they don't need to work. When there's nothing wrong with him. He's just fat. He says he's going blind. He says he's got neuropathic pain. Anybody would have neuropathic pain if they don't walk or exercise and have diabetes. Says his mother's dying of Crohn's disease, doesn't get enough toilet paper for her, calls me a cunt if I don't give him the money that he demands, sends me PayPal requests on New Year's Eve, asks me for $2,000. I mean, come on, man, I didn't even know the guy. He would have taken the money if he could. So in my eyes, he's not a vulnerable guy like Crystal Han, Crack or Chris. Cyrix kind of gives me the creeps, so I'll keep him out of the equation. Or control
I have a theory about this shit, right?
Yeah.
So like back in the day, we had all these fucking crazy wars, and you didn't have drones or nothing. It was like some dude with a sword running around. And you know who we used to send to do that?
Who?
All those retards like Cyrax and fucking all these like socially unacceptable people. They get in trouble and then they get recruited because it's the only way that they get out of being
But
worked
that's
to
how
death
much
or whatever. And
Yeah.
then those people die on the battlefields, and then we don't have to deal with them. That's
but
how
the
it used to
problem
be.
is that
We need to go back to that.
if you dig deep enough into Marty's, he's been hanging out with some questionable pedophiles.
Well, yeah, Marty would have been one of those people too that would have been marched out there.
He's, I don't know if you know about Fred Boy Blue, but, who, like, guarded the front door whilst his buddy, had sex with a 17-year-old so that he wouldn't be caught. They were all buddies.
Hell.
So, it's just, they're all scummy to me. I just find it hypocritical, like for some of them, all of them pointing fingers at each other when they're all doing the same shit. Gamble's a junkie, and no, he's not intelligent, and he's got a shit university degree. that took him 7 years to finish from a shit college that, has no reputation whatsoever, but he's flinging it around. Tells everybody he has like thousands and thousands of dollars of watches on his, on his arms, and daddy's house is cost of this, when he hasn't worked a day in his life and considers his streaming his career. I mean, I'm an old bat, but by the time I was 30, I was well past my first $1 million, and that was way back when.
I just more like with that whole thing. It's like I'm sure he makes money doing that, but like, is it even really enough to survive off of? Like, I don't know.
No,
I don't feel like it
if
is,
he didn't have to pay rent, no.
especially
If
where
he
he
had to pay,
lives.
yeah, but not only
Oh,
that,
Marty?
no, and we talk about downfall. But it's not only that. It's like, imagine your parents putting you through private school, and this is what you do. This is your claim to fame at the age of 30. Fucking 2 teenagers, okay? Questionably, one was, at 18. I'm not going to talk about the other. But, he, he's, I mean, and I've told him this in person. Man, if you could be doing a lot better for yourself. Like, instead of telling everybody to log off the internet and pretending to be Batman at the age of 28, get the fuck off and build a career for yourself. And come out of the closet already, because you're a faggot. I mean, and he's like, Didi, you know what the consequences are going to be for you? No, tell me. What are the consequences going to be for me? Please do, enlighten me. He threatened that again the other day, by the way. I'm like, do you know what he said? He said, I'm going to call your mother. I'm like, fuck. He's going to call my mother. Imagine telling somebody my age that they're going to call their mother. It's just pathetic. I mean, I wouldn't call Greek's mother or father. Call his brother, though. Do that. It's to get to Greek. Just because he's been holding people's doxes over their head for over 2 years now. And that wasn't me. It was other people who were kind enough to be kind to him. And he's been accusing a lot of you guys of a lot of fucked up shit, not Crack or Chris, but other people.
He accused Hitler of being a diddler.
Yeah, or about accusing them of being into lolly and being a tranny, and then I mean, he was the guy who was posting the most disgusting porn on my server, until I told him for the 15th time, I'm not into that shit. I don't have it. I'm not suitable for work, and I'm not into that kind of shit in my server, so take it elsewhere. I don't want stretched anuses like with cornflakes in them. You might be into
What?
that, but not me.
Nah, I'm good.
No. He kept spamming something like that. So the shit that he has stored on his electronic devices makes me think he should shut the fuck up about pointing fingers at others being into,
Okay. He did say that he has a lot of stuff on his hard drive that he'd rather not be seen if his house got raided.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he's not smart enough to scrape it himself to get rid of it. He just, if they were found, but I don't, I'm not somebody that believes in vengeance per se. I get over things pretty quickly, but I do believe that some people need to be taught lessons, and if this serves so that he stops scamming other people who might be less privileged than me and not have, the little money that I gave him, but, the money to spare, then I just don't like scammers, man. I just don't like them.
Yeah, he
Especially,
said he used to record everything. Back when he would hang out with all the Plate guys. Like, I guess I don't know who was around back then, but he said he
you
would
believe
record
that?
everything because he wanted to make a clip channel, and now it's on a hard drive that he can't access because he doesn't have
You
a
can't access
monitor.
it, exactly.
And if the cops show up, he'll get in trouble for it. But I don't
I'm
think that
pretty
you can
sure
get in
he's
trouble
real.
for just recording people doing dumb shit. So I don't know if
No,
that
there would have to
necessarily
be
tracks.
images. There would have to be images, and believe me, that I'm pretty sure. Well, you don't have to believe me because I can't assure you, but I'm pretty sure that there are
I
images
remember him
that
going
he's got.
around and he would just be quiet,
But
so I guess he was recording us the entire time.
who's recording?
Greek.
I'm not looking at the phone. Sorry. Um,
No,
I don't know
because
who's in
Smarkovich
BC.
just said he used to come around and record us. He admitted to that.
Yeah, he told me he built up a file on me for the last 4 years. Like, I give a fuck. But I very much doubt he's too lazy. I very much doubt that he's able to put in the work.
I mean, it's pretty easy just to download OBS and just press record.
He falls asleep midway conversation. He does that regularly. And then remember where he stores things for 4 years on everyone? I highly doubt that. I know that that's just me, but then I did. You know what? The truth is, I didn't really fall for his sub stories. Something in me was saying he's bullshitting you, but I can't be bothered with his relentless whining anymore. So I'm just chucking some change and he'll shut up.
Jesus Christ, hadn't it been like a month? Why are you still worried about Greek?
Because I found his dog.
Would you send him like $100 or something? I mean, come on.
It's not about that, Herb, man. I can't. Look, I have to throw a hat, so let's repeat all of it. But it's about him doing it again. He was trying to do it to somebody else last week before I went into the hospital.
Do
What
what?
do you mean last week? Greek asks people for money every day. That's what he does.
Okay,
You
does that make it
understand
okay?
that Greek is like poor and like in poor health
I
and
don't
lives with
give a
his
shit
mom
if
who's
he's
in
poor.
poor.
I've met poor people. They don't behave in
You
that way.
obviously do. You gave him money because he's poor.
I gave him money because one side of me, and I'm not at another point in my life, I would have said get a fucking job, and listen to certain people who advised me to tell him that, because if he had all the pathologies that he says he has, he would be taking medication for it. And if he's not taking medication, then he doesn't have the pathologies he says he has,
I mean,
because it doesn't add up. Pardon?
He takes like at least gabapentin because that's why he talks all fucking weird.
Yeah. That's how him and I began talking 4 years ago. So I told him to slowly come off it because it's not very good. And I told him to exercise more and eat less, and that his neuropathic pain. But then he told me that he was going blind. And then he told me that he was going. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And then he told me that
So what is your point? What did he do to you that's so terrible?
waste my time at a time when it's pretty. And not only me, like I said
You have
before, you
something
went in
better
it.
to do. It seems to me like all you do is live with your mom and you're dying or whatever. Like, what else do you have to do?
Well, I don't. I mean, apart from hang out with my friends who come and visit me, I don't. I'm the moment I'm in recovery, not drug recovery,
It
but
sounds
I
like
don't.
he filled your time.
No, no. I don't need time to be filled with. I mean, he's got the IQ of a fucking parrot. No, he's not funny. He's not intelligent. He's not. I can't even play dumb with him. No. I felt sorry for him. I felt sorry for him because I'm in a weakened state. I feel sorry for him. But why should I be comfortable with him doing this to other people? I just don't like people like that. I don't like.
Sorry,
That's just.
what, waste their time? What did he do?
He would VC me in private and then, can we please talk? I don't like to hang out with these niggas because they're all dumb and they don't get me and they don't understand anything about crypto and they don't want to help me with the money and I'm so poor. And I'm so poor. My mother's dying of Crohn's and my mother's dying of a brain tumor. My mother's dying of a heart attack. My mother's dying of this. It's, and I know I
Okay,
shared my
so he
health
he
stories.
gives someone a sob story, and how is that your business?
Well, he made it my business the moment he did it to me. At a time when, he pissed me off the last time. It was like, dude, I told you I was going in for minor brain surgery, but minor brain surgery. At the end of this month, I'm calling you cunt because I'm telling you I have people in real life that I prioritize over online friends, and I've helped you enough already, and you're calling me every name under the sun. Yeah, I made it personal. Just like I made what Fetch did personal. Just like, the guy
What,
that
who
released
did?
that nude. Huh?
What, who did?
Fetch.
What did Fetch do?
Oh, yes, that was a long time ago. Well, he started out with the whole flirting thing, but I got more information out of him than he got out of me. And then he ran off with a shark, but then he would talk about, I didn't appreciate him talking about beans behind with Gamble behind his back and call you all his autistic retards that would do the work for him and his minions, and his claim to fame was Chris Chan getting arrested, and I didn't know anything at the time, so
Okay, so Fetch was talking about beans with Ganville.
I'm not just beans, but he was playing himself up, bigging himself up, like, and then talking those that were presumably his friends down behind their back, then started trolling me, out of the blue because the shark thought it would be funny, because I was already trolled half dog, so, and then Sammy came around and she said, do you know anything about a guy called Fetch? And I said, yeah, sure. And this was like 3 years later. And I said, here you go and knock yourself out, because I had seen videos of him making her cry. But then I'd also been told by Fran and I don't know who else that she was the biggest piece of shit. And
Sam is a legitimately awful person.
Dude,
Yeah.
he made her cry because she tried to dox him. That's why she was crying, is that she felt
that's what I
bad
heard.
because she
That's what I
tried
heard.
to dox him.
But I also heard that he'd already been doxed by the Kiwi Farms.
Kiwi Farms doesn't even know who Fetch is.
That's what he told me, man. I don't know. I've only been I don't pay that much attention to the lore of absolutely everyone. I don't know anything about.
Well, you still haven't got to the part where he trolled you, and
Yeah, he would come into
I
servers
trolled you too. You have
with
some vendetta that's going to go on for years and years towards me.
no.
I mean,
If
I
I recover
literally
from this,
told you to
do
kill
you think I'm
yourself.
going to sit here on the internet? If I mean, it's going to go two ways. Either I've got 8-10 more years. The biopsy comes back in a couple of weeks, so I'll know then if it's cancerous or not. You know, the brain,
Oh
the
my
brain.
god, you got your leg dying, and this is what you're spending like your last hours on Earth
No. And I
worrying about
said, but
Greek
if I
and
do
Finnish.
recover from that, then I'm not going to be hanging around here. But why are you white knighting for Greek? What's your issue? What, you feel sorry for him because
I just
he's
find it
poor?
crazy that you're like on this vendetta against him after like months and months.
After he
Alright.
like
What did I miss?
after he like belittled me, trolled me, continuously like with the nude, like after he, I mean, I'm
The
not a
nude, the
total
nude that
retard.
you posted, and you know that Greek is a troll. That's like what he is.
Yeah, the thing is that in private he would pretend not to be, that's what makes me a retard, right?
It's one of the things that makes you
The same
retard,
as
Didi.
being.
Let's be fair, shall we?
Well, that's one of the things actually.
Carry on.
It's a miracle I've made it this far, but it's the same as Beans. I often forget Beans is a troll too, but because Beans does the same thing, gets into my DMs and pretends to be my gay best friend. And so he did the same. So what am I supposed to do? Be happy about it? Go, oh, they're just trolls. No, fuck you all. No.
Even me, Didi.
I guess you could be happy about it or quit fucking with these people.
I mean, not you. You. I don't feel the need to go after you, even though you trolled me. But there are lines that cross. I mean, I've been threatened by Gamble.
Gamble?
Yeah.
Is that Greek? Why are we talking about Gamble?
Oh,
That
we
was
were
the
talking about
original
him
topic
before.
prior to your
We
arrival.
were talking about Marty Gamble and Greek in the same sentence. Yeah. It's
These people
yeah.
even know who each other are?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I'm
they
at a
do.
point, Hub, where I don't care anymore. Do you know what I mean? I do not care anymore. There's nothing that can be done to me. Like I said, it can go either way for me. And if things go well, which I'm praying they do, then I'll be dropping offline, quickly, and maybe stay in touch with a couple of you guys, like
How
who
sweet.
I've become,
Sweet, Didi.
closer to.
How
But
sweet. I'm not on that list. I got crossed off that.
well, no, not whilst we live in China.
Well, why wouldn't you want to continue hanging out with Mr. E?
It was just a joke. I said just not whilst he lives in China.
You don't like the Chinese?
No, I fucking hate them. Dude, Herb, did you hear what happened in Lebanon last night?
No.
Oh man. So Hezbollah has been starting. So now, like, Netanyahu has gone all out full retard in military uniform. Like, it's just it's a mess.
What? Hezbollah's fighting with Israel. How's that
Yeah.
news?
No, but they actually, I didn't read the news, like, from what I was told by my mother who was passing by, like, there have been casualties on both ends. So now, and then
I
the
guess I did
American,
hear something about northern Israel getting the shit bombed out of it.
no, shut up. The American embassy has been attacked in Beirut.
Herb sold them the guns.
I'm pretty sure he did.
No. Herb didn't sell
Right.
them the guns. Actually, I sold them the guns, and Herb's
So,
gonna
I don't know if you were around Herb when Benghazi happened, and, beautiful Clinton was responsible for that fuck up. But if it's true that, the American embassy has been, compromised in some way in Lebanon, and I don't know who's claiming that victory, but it's not looking good.
It was Herb. Claim
Got
that.
nothing to do with Israel. Like it's,
No, Mr. E did it. You heard him.
If I blame Herb for anything, I'm actually saying I did it. That's the best part.
but are you able to vote in Europe anymore, Mr. E?
Never
Or
voted
not?
in Europe. Nor would I ever want to vote. That's disgusting.
Yeah, that's what I mean, I'm not voting. The EU parliamentary um, elections are taking place soon, and I mean, Europe is just. I don't know in how it
I
is
had
in
an
the
idea,
US, but
Didi.
the inflation here is getting so bad.
Why don't you
Food prices are
represent Catalonia? Go in there and then just make fun of Greek in the European Parliament.
I can't represent myself against a bunch of retarded trolls online.
No, you just
That's
yell
like,
at them in the European Parliament. Then people do that
no,
all
I'll
the
let
time.
It's
Nigel
just going
Farage.
there still yelling about Greek.
Cheesecake, yeah. No, Nigel Farage will do that for me in
If you yell
Brussels.
about Greek, they'll think you're talking about the country. They'll let you in. It'll be fine.
Yeah, well, better fuck
Like,
us,
oh
I
yeah,
think.
the Greeks. And you're like, no, just one singular Greek.
Why doesn't it surprise me that Greek is the way he is, man? Like, when I was in that country, fuck's sakes, they're damning corrupt
You
bunch
know
of.
he's American, right?
Well, I read an obituary. He has at least one parent or grandparent that was Greek. His grandmother was buried in the Greek Orthodox
His
Church.
family's all Turkish.
Pardon? Can you repeat that?
Turkish.
Oh, well, it's all the same.
That's the only correct thing you've said tonight.
I always appreciate you for checking me, even if it doesn't seem it. But I was thinking of you last night when I told you that time that I used to cycle on the other side of Lebanon from Nahariya.
Hold on, you used to cycle drugs on the other side of Lebanon. Why would you do that?
No, I told Herb. I said I used to cycle and cross the border, like from Nahariya, which is where I was based for a while, on over to Lebanon, and he was like, "Hold on a second, like you can't cross over." Yes, you can. No, you can't. He checked me on that one. This is how retarded I've become.
It's a literal militarized border. There's no border crossing between Lebanon and Israel.
But there is a
it's like pretty
border
close,
you
huh?
could cross.
You could cross. Yeah,
I mean, they let people cross. How about that?
no, but no. I mean, I
You
could have
might
not been a
make it
civilian.
across.
I guess if
Could've-
you're like
Could have not been a
MI6 or
civilian and
whatever,
had a
like
security
you
pass.
can.
You know.
Then you wouldn't go across the border like that. They'd just fly you.
No, I don't know about that.
You can do a
I
land crossing if you're
I got a
MI6.
security pass, like to spend 5 minutes with your retarded president in Nairobi, like, with Biden. Ridiculous.
Did you suck him off?
What does he smell like? Just smelt him back.
Jesus, that's the most disgusting thing. But he gave off weird vibes even back then. And he's definitely not the same person these days. He's definitely got Alzheimer's or something. But he wouldn't stop swearing. And then he said, "What type of food do you eat in this shithole?" I'm like, Jesus, this is the vice president of. That's when he was vice president to Obama.
And that's who Greek voted for.
Yeah,
That's who Boblo voted for. He's riding with Biden.
I've never voted in my life. Don't vote. That's your. What are you going to do, Herb, in Texas? Are you going to stand your ground and stop people from coming in? Your country's going to shit.
Don't mess with Texas.
Why would I fucking stop people from coming in?
Oh, you want them to do the labor work? You still need them to do labor work?
They're not staying in Texas.
That's right. They're going up to New Jersey.
We're basically like Mexico. They just go right through us.
I just heard that,
Well, then, Herb, how do you enjoy your new president of Texas?
Oh, yeah. I'm very happy to have Davy Crockett as president now.
Very good.
You're not somebody who votes, are you? You don't strike me as that sort of
Vote?
person. Yeah.
What do you get? The government?
Yeah. I don't know. I find voting a waste of time, so I don't vote. I've never
That's
voted.
nice.
No,
Are you
it's a
allowed
waste
to
of
vote?
time. Pardon?
Are you allowed to vote?
In 2 countries. Despite of my low IQ, you mean?
Israel and Mexico?
No. Oh my God. Not so Britain and Spain.
The one time Didi votes, the Mexican president becomes a Jewish trans woman.
So he should become the Mexican president. It's Carlos Slim. I remember meeting him in Qatar, of all places. I was in a delegation. He was
In a
in
guitar?
Qatar, in the country Qatar.
What
He
kind of
was with
guitar? Must have been a big one.
Probably a big acoustic guitar.
in Qatar.
Probably a balalaika, if
Is
I
it
had
like
to
a
guess.
themed restaurant or something?
No, it was in the tent of a sheikh who belongs to the Al Thani
Giant
family.
robot strumming the guitar?
No, there was a huge camel in a
A lot of strumming
massive
going on at the
metal
time.
pot that grossed me out. With hooves and all. And there was a shrine to Saddam Hussein. It was a key to Baghdad and a golden AK-47.
Based?
Because apparently the Sheikh and Saddam Hussein were hunting buddies and best friends. That was a close shave. I'm really glad like Carlos Slim and his delegation were there. And I wasn't there. With my boss. Just him and me.
You were on a mission?
On a mission.
Impossible?
Yeah, no, don't go there. But I've said this to you before. I worked in Intel, but I did not work for an Intel agency. I worked for independent agencies, or for the type of people that you work for, the arms and
American
trade.
government.
I ain't got no job.
That's not possible. How are you going to feed those 10 cats?
Feeds them on Mexicans. Many of those. Why would you want them to not come?
Yeah, what do you
Kill a
think I like
Mexican.
immigrants for?
All right, yeah. I'm still curious.
Cats
My
love it.
is Emperor here? I'm still curious about that Frito pie that he made.
Yo, Frito pie, dude. I love Frito pie.
I've never seen it in my life,
You never had Frito pie?
No, I've never had
I like the
ranch
Frito
sauce.
apple pies.
Have you had chili?
Yes, of course. I
Have you had
made,
Fritos?
not me. Yes.
So it's like the Fritos with the chili, and then they usually put like onions and maybe like lettuce and tomato and cheese.
Yeah, I'm showed a picture, but I've never been to Mexico
Oh
several
man, it's
times,
so
but
good.
I've never tried it. My
Dude,
taste
an
buds
actual
are really
pie.
all over
I
the
could hook
place.
you up
So
with the Fritos if you can't get Fritos.
you can get them in
Yeah.
Spain. You can get
No,
Fritos
Dark
in
Ninja
Spain.
has the special connect though.
Yeah, Dark Ninja's
Yes.
got them.
Oh, different. No, you can't get the Fritos in the UK, but you can get them in Spain. It's really weird. And I can't get ranch sauce here. And I've never tried it. And that's the next thing if I do make it to the US. That's on my list. Yeah. Try that goddamn ranch
Spain
sauce.
sucks. They don't even have Mexican food in Spain. Like what the fuck?
Well, apparently we have like,
Spanish food's really good.
what do you call it? Taco Bell here.
You
So they
don't
must
even
have
have
some.
the Rocker Gibraltar. What are you talking about?
No, Gibraltar's no longer British. It's Spanish now.
That's bullshit.
Oh, what
Nope.
load of rubbish.
It was said the other day.
They can say it. You
I know, they
fight
said
for the
by a
rock.
stick.
You know?
Ow, sorry, my head.
Annex Gibraltar? I don't think so.
I don't
They have
care.
to have war with
I
Spain.
live in the middle of nowhere. It's quiet. It's we've got the sea in front, like mountains in the back, the hospitals across.
A cheesecake shop within arm's distance.
There are no junk food stores or
I
whatever you
would
call
consider
restaurants.
cheesecake.
Cheesecake's not junk food, dude. Come on.
Very few ingredients in
I think
cheesecake.
that for me it would be. I'm not saying I wouldn't eat it. Don't shoot me, but I don't eat sugar. I don't. I'm not really the sugar
Cheesecake's
type.
not exactly sugary either, to be
Doesn't
fair.
Which is, again, I was telling my mother yesterday, what's the point in me having been so freaking healthy all my life?
You ever had Basque style cheesecake?
That's
You know what?
fun.
I was told that by the doctors that it might take from a month to 3 months for my recovery, but I might be going back to the Basque country in the middle of the summer because it gets too
Cheesecake.
hot. And they do have cheesecake there.
You should run with the bulls.
I'm a vegetarian. Yeah, I mean,
You're not gonna, you don't eat.
So are the bulls.
I
The
can
bulls are
barely.
vegetarian too.
Yo, you know,
I
it'd be
can-
mad funny if she
I can
just
barely
fucking
walk.
ate a burgie and then like popped
To
right up
run.
like Popeye with muscles and shit.
It's always an
Big
American
turbines
that
in the
dies.
biceps.
I'll let you know this year, but it's always an American that dies, like in the San Fermins, it's called, the bull. They get too drunk and they become too brave for their own good. Bless them. No, I've never been to one of those things. And in Catalonia, they closed down all bull rings a while ago, so we don't have bullfighting in Catalonia.
It's because that's gay. You have to go to
Well, because
Mexico for bullfighting.
we're more civilized here.
Various
This-
euphemism.
Yeah,
rest
watch
is
the immigrants fight over each other.
That's why you'll never be a real country.
I don't really care. Yeah, I never wanted to be like work for a country, as you can imagine. Like, I mean, I love the West. You know, I love the UK. I love Spain. I love France. I love the USA, and our troops. But you know, I never pledged alliance to anyone. I'm not. No.
Yes, we know your true allegiance is to Israel, Jew.
Oh God, you sound like Greek. Are you related to him? No,
I'm not
nothing.
Jewish.
Nothing. See, we talked about this the last time, I think. I told you that it was there short period of time on a short job assignment. That was it. But no, I have no ties to Israel. No family there. No ties.
Well,
I have a guy.
all your family's there. Your racial family,
No.
ethnic family.
What? My Catholic. What if I was a Moor instead of a Sephardic too, and they got it all wrong, my ancestors? Although
Your
if they were
family would still be there.
if they were money lenders and you know, and they owned land and they still do, that would make them Jews. Yeah, fucking right. Yeah. But anyway, Catholic now. Catholic now. They make you check the forms at the hospital when you go in for an operation. Religion. Right? Yes, it's because they get the man in the black cloak ready. I'm not talking about Batman in case something happens. Yeah. So anyway, Herb, you don't want me to call, like, you feel terribly bad for Greek because he's too poor to work. He's been drug dealer all his life, never left his seats, educates himself on 4chan, then Bitway. You expect me to feel sorry for him. Am I correct?
he's actually the one who's been sending Greek money, by the way.
Yeah, I've been sending Greek all my money, and I care for him deeply. He's my boy.
Would you? Why are you so? Why are you
No,
so happy?
I just don't understand your
No,
motivation.
no. Let me finish. I'm
Nuts,
sorry, I
and
can't
you're
speak
like
fast enough
you're
today.
obsessed with.
I can't speak fast enough today. Like, so bear with me. But would you be as cynical as to say that about everyone you've met online, or would you say you have forged at least a couple of friendships that you would, you know, consider friends IRL?
I mean,
Curious.
we're just a bunch of dudes that banter, and like sometimes we end on the same side of shit. Like Greek's all right. Like I don't have any problem with him because like I saw him for what he is. I don't give him money. You know, he doesn't ask me directly for money. Sometimes he'll say a
Does that
side.
make it morally right, though? I know I'm being
I don't
morals.
care. I mean, there's
Yeah.
lots of it's his business. You know what I mean? What he's doing. I don't think it's
Scamming people, though, is his business. Really, you don't care about him scamming people that
no,
you're cool with.
no. That's their
Okay.
problem.
All
That's
right. All
between
right. All
him
right.
and that other person.
Okay. I'm just asking for
No, I don't
personal.
give a shit. If you're dumb enough to give him money, like that's on you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't dumb enough to
And I
give him the
mean,
2,000. I did
I don't know if
hesitate.
you like. It sounds like you doxed him or whatever. Like whatever, you know, post his docs everywhere. I doubt you'll find anyone that gives a shit.
I don't know about that. I've been quite. My DMs have been popping off like whilst I was asleep.
What are you gonna
But
do to a guy that lives in a trailer with his mom in his late 40s?
who's
But
who's in
doesn't
this?
have a
Hold
job, like you
on.
know.
Let me. Well, why can't he get a job? What the fuck is wrong? He lives in the USA, not in fucking
Well, do you
Timbuktu.
think doxing him and spreading his docs is gonna make him get a job?
I don't dox people. I don't. I wouldn't dox him like in Doxbin or Kiwi Farms or things like that. I don't even know if the dox I had like is the right one. But I was hoping that it would deter him from continuing to behave the way it is. Not with me, because with me it's gone, long gone. People that it might make him become a better person. Call me. I'm a female, Herb. Okay, I have that mindset that is different. I'm wired differently to men. Right? So I know. You know, I did.
Oh, so you mean that you don't think things out and you act on emotion?
Yes, a lot of the time. Although I was trained not to do that, but that's why we always had a male partner. It was male, female, or female, male all the time to balance it out. But yeah, but I also have a caring, you know, um, a nurturing. So I'm not saying that men don't care. Even though I'm not a mother, I do have a mothering streak in me. So, yeah. But yeah, there's a reason, but I'm obviously not going to um, talk about it in a VC full of trolls. But there's an IRL reason why I particularly dislike scammers that go after um, people or elderly people, and it boils down to something that happened not to me, but to somebody else, and it didn't end up very well. So it triggered me. It did trigger me. And because I'm a female, I get easily triggered. And then I get over it after 5 minutes.
Well, apparently not this one. You've been on it for months.
How so?
Well, the last time I saw you, which is what, a month or two ago, you were
A month ago, yeah.
bitching about Greek, and now it's
Because
on
it's just
Twitter.
a coincidence. I just came back. I came back yesterday, and then it's just the coincidence of um of the information coming out. And there's a part of me that likes connecting dots. So it's like, oh, this is what he said to me about this. Oh, so this, that, so this, oh, so this adds up. So this, 'cause I'm bored. Fuck, I'm not working. I'm not doing anything. Can't even read. So connecting dots in my stupid brain, like, makes me, entertains me. So, yeah, I miss working. What can I say? Unlike
Well,
others,
you're using your secret agent skills.
yes, I was never secret. There was never anything secretive about me. Well, unless I was entering Sharia land, in which case I was just a journalist, not working in it. But no, I was not a secret agent. Oh man, it's so sunny already at this time of
So,
the morning.
are you still gonna continue to go
Harass.
after him, harass
But
Greek?
I came into this VC saying, shall I call his brother, the one who
Should
taught?
you? Should you call his brother?
I just,
I know
I
that
can't
he
ask.
doesn't
Nobody
think
replied. I've just talked to you all about it. I don't think I'm feeling the best right now to do anything. And after tomorrow, I probably it will have died down.
well,
Probably the fuss
if
that
you
I've
want
made
someone
today.
that hates Greek, I'm pretty sure his brother hates him too.
I'm pretty sure that Greek has done something to make that happen. I'm pretty sure Greek is the problem, not everybody else. But then again, there are people like that in this world. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'm not gonna go on YouTube, make a video, or Twitter, or X, or no, that's not what I
Nobody
do.
would care. Like you don't have like I don't understand. Like what's the smoking gun here? Like
Like
this
I
guy
just told you, I came in
needs
here
you
and said
to
if it would
advocate
entertain
for
you
him, and you
guys,
send him.
then I'd do it. If it would entertain you guys, then I'd do it. Nobody was particularly interested, then I don't do it. And hopefully, with all the fuss that has been, said, discussed in the last 24 hours, maybe there's a chance, the remote, tiny, tiny chance that he'll reevaluate, shitting on his friends. And by friends, I don't mean me. I mean other people. That's
Who?
what I'm hoping for.
What other person?
No, get out of here. I mean, I'm not sweet, but I'm not. No. Yeah. But I'm not the only person who. I would have no reason to say that.
Dox the victims.
No. If they want to dox
Dox the
themselves,
weak,
then they would do it themselves.
horrific victims that he's used his superior intellect to
Well,
defraud
this
out of
is Hitler, for a
massive
start.
amounts of money.
I presume IDOC is probably, but I don't know. But Hitler's the only one that's come out forth and said
You
he
think
did it to
Hitler's
me.
the victim of Greek?
No, I think Hitler enjoyed the, yeah, the game.
The Findom.
Lording over him.
Yeah.
And then still giving him money like a bitch.
Yeah, but then Greek thinking that he had Hitler's mother's docs and
They were
constantly
both pretty
holding it.
cringe with that shit, to be honest.
He kept holding it over his head. I'm going to contact your
What
mother. I'm going
was
to contact
cringe? Greek?
Greek.
Jesus?
That
What were you
yeah.
saying?
Go ahead. I got lost there. I don't know who's talking to who.
Did Greek act like he seriously had Hitler's mom's docs?
I never believed it, but then when how can I put this? I never believed it, but then when I saw that, Hitler was being a bit too nonchalant about, a Greek having done what he did, then I stopped thinking that Hitler was doing it just to have the upper hand, and that possibly he was a little bit scared of, Greek might having gotten a hold of some name that might lead him to something. But I truly believe that Greek is a retard. But I don't. Besides making Pepe memes and spamming my vagina, yeah,
That you posted originally.
that somebody docs. But yeah, I'm starting to feel sick.
Not to us. No one docs it to us but you.
No, somebody was holding it over my head in my server where I knew there were no minors, and I acted on impulse, and
Yeah,
I
but
thought,
you
well,
keep
fuck it.
acting like, oh, someone's posting my vagina, but it was you that did
Oh no,
it.
he spammed it, man.
Well, yeah,
Again,
after you
again.
posted it, we could do whatever we want with it.
Well, again, that's your interpretation of how things are. I'm not a troll, her. You have to come from from my stance. Like, this is all new to me. Oh, it's 4 years old now, 5. But I'm not a troll. I don't know how
I
your
don't know
mind
why
is.
you would want to hang out with a bunch of trolls if you're not one.
It's been insightful. It's a completely new corner of society that I've never hung out in. I have made a couple of calls to the FBI, not, on Greek.
Dear,
Um,
yeah, this Greek man told me these.
no.
He sounds pretty
With,
dangerous.
with, sorry, what did you
I
say,
would have
Ed?
called them too.
He sounds pretty dangerous.
I don't. I think I could even the way I feel right now. I could probably run circles around Greek, and he would never catch me.
FBI. I think that he might actually go out in the corner and start begging for money.
Imagine that. It just pisses me off, man. Like the United States. How can you beg for money? You're a white man in the United States. Have some fucking pride. It's like, it's sad. It's really sad.
If it's sad, why are you trying to make things worse for him?
That he wakes the fuck up and gets a social worker for his mother and gets disability. And
Well, you got his docs. Why don't you just call the social worker?
because, gee, I've been kind of busy, you know, since that was proposed.
We're busy
And
thinking about calling his brother.
no, that was just something that came up not a few hours ago. No, no.
I mean, if his brother gave a shit, he could call a social worker for his
I mean,
mom.
what can I? Yeah, apparently they're not on talking terms. But the last I heard, Hitler was going to help him call a social worker. But Greek was telling us, this was in a VC with Sucker Punch as well. Greek was telling us that his family's too proud to have social workers, which is another thing that pisses me off. It's like, okay, you're too proud to have social workers, but not too proud to scam your friends and lie to them.
I still don't follow what the scam was.
He'd lie at the end of the month and tell
Lied
you
about
the money would be
There's
the
gonna
money
be
would be
fine.
for a roof that is, falling, or that it would be for toilet paper, or that it would be for food. And when I tell him, walk, it will do you good, I'm not doing it to patronize you. I'm telling you to patronize you. I'm telling you because it will do you good.
How do you
Walk to
know
this
there's
thing.
nothing wrong with his roof?
it's just the way he went around it. Hitler and IDOC promised to come and fix it for me, and they're not. And it's just every single day I talk. It's my dad's a piece of shit, my brother's a piece of shit, my neighbor's a piece of shit, my ex-girlfriends have all done me wrong. Everybody here is a piece of shit. Nobody's giving me any money. Nobody's helping me. How dare you? You're rich. You should be giving me money. You know, it's like no. I've worked since I was
It doesn't
14.
sound like a scam to me.
What, to lie to
It sounds
people?
like well, I don't. Where's the lie? I mean, that
To
his
tell us all simultaneously that we're the only ones that are being asked for money and do it, you know, behind the
he
scenes.
told you that he wasn't asking Hitler for money.
She said Hitler was the only person, and then it transpired that there's more than one person besides Hitler, and that's all
Okay,
I'm going to say.
who?
No, Herb, stop. And I'm really not, I'm getting, no. Like I said, if they want to come out and say it, then they will. I'm not going to out them. Why would I out them? Why? So you go hard on them like you do.
Oh, I'm gonna bully you so hard, Weezus.
I like that accent.
I've been sending him $2,000 worth of cheesecakes every month.
That's what's keeping him alive. He's used those cheesecakes. He's hardened them and fixed his roof with them.
The lie is, I doubt very much it's just gabapentin. And there's been my expectation over the past few months. It's got to be more drugs than just gabapentin and alcohol. It's just, you know, there's no way.
He doesn't drink.
Well, then even more than what kind of weed is he smoking? Like, was it laced with fentanyl?
Basically
You
pure
know?
THC.
No, he buys it from the shop.
Yeah, but his shit's like he smokes like you. He does like dabs all the time and shit.
Yeah, so he's probably buying like good shit. He's not buying weird.
So where's he getting the money to buy the good shit
It's
from?
not that expensive.
Really? So, but
No,
if he
not
doesn't get
I can
any,
get a gram of oil for like $12, and
if he
that'll last
doesn't,
a motherfucker
Greek,
like a
and
week.
Greeks told me about that. He goes to his shop on like the day they're doing super specials, and he gets it for dirt cheap.
yeah. See, the one time I gave him money, I sent him money, coincidentally, and it might be a coincidence, coincidentally, the next day he literally just posted a photograph of like all this wax that you guys smoke out there. We don't do that here. At least my generation has never done
Yeah, it's
whole
medical.
wax.
I was medical.
You ever
lab.
hear of hashish or hash?
Yeah, hash weed
Same
smoke.
thing, just without all the garbage in it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's like purified, basically.
Didi
oh.
likes her hash directly out of the Moroccan butthole.
No, that's called culero here. There's no way I would touch hash from Hopper. No. I've had foot pain issues like oil that's made by a friend of mine on his farm from the plant. Oil extract, pure THC. But no, I don't. I'm not a smoker.
So why do you begrudge Greek for using the medical oil?
No, I don't. I was just questioning. I thought it can't be that because sometimes I've been in private VCs with him for hours and hours where I've had to zone out because he's talking about God knows what, and it just, how can I say it just he's getting higher and higher and higher and higher. You're not doing alcohol, you know. He said that he'd stopped taking gabapentin. He did say in a VC once that he asked Hitler what his thoughts were on getting streets Xanax. I don't know if he does that, but it just seems to me like he used to be a coke dealer, and he's got these street codes where he's not a cop caller or whatnot. Well, yeah. I'll call the cops if it
Are
comes
you
to
mad
it.
that he doesn't send you any coke?
Oh yeah, coke would do me the world of good right now. Like coke is known like to do people with seizures. Like, no, I wouldn't take coke from Greek. Are you kidding me?
What,
wouldn't
now,
take coke.
now you're insulting the man's coke?
It's just these. I wouldn't do coke these days. It's just that you don't know what it's laced with. I'm scared of that fentanyl stuff. It's gotten over here to Europe as well. A lot of the cocaine, street cocaine, well, it's only street cocaine. So, street cocaine, like it's heavily laced, apparently, according to the latest reports. And no, I wouldn't buy it off
It's
the
like a
Greek. I don't
bonus.
trust.
You get
I
some
don't trust
bonus
that.
fentanyl with your coke. That's like a good deal.
I'd rather take opiate if I could.
Well, I got news for you. Fentanyl is opiate.
No, it's a synthetic form. I'm scared of fentanyl. They've offered it to me in the
What do you
hospital.
think? You're going to die?
The dose or just get to it. I don't have an addictive personality, but then I'm going to get
Just smoke a little
addicted
Fenty.
too quickly. Pardon?
Just smoke a little Fenty.
No, and then, yeah, I don't really do those things that people do with the tinfoil.
Take some buys.
Some what?
Some buys.
What on earth is that?
Some Zans.
Oh no, the French gave me that when I came back from Syria once. Like, it made me feel really weird. Never took them again. I'm not.
Did you try boofing them?
Would you take me for a tiller? Never boofed anything in my life. Maybe
Funny,
lactated.
Didi.
Maybe like medication when I was a child. I haven't boofed anything in my life. What a
You
weird thing to do.
What? You boof stuff when you were a child? What the fuck?
You know when they give you suppositories, babies, medication? I've always been sick since I was a child. When you're a child, you don't digest pills. You know, I'm talking a young child. So what they do is they give children suppositories because you know why.
Against their will?
I mean, against the will. If the child is sick and needs paracetamol, for example, if it can't be done, you know, in or ibuprofen, it can't be watered down, then they'll do it in a suppository. Please do. Please. I was going to say something. God, I didn't. Yeah, but just please tell me you know what suppositories are. Of all people.
No, I haven't. I don't know what they are.
Well, it's about time you do.
Please don't tell me.
No, I won't. You're the one who brought up the conversation, not me.
It's kind of like what Crack Rock Chris did with that cotton ball.
I know, you bastards. Who came up?
That was
Who came
me.
up with that?
Was my
You know,
idea.
no. Come on, I have
That
too
was
much respect.
That was Hitler.
Okay.
No, it was my idea, and Hitler was going to pay him for it.
Would you?
For it.
Why would you come up with an idea like that? You fucking sociopath.
It was a different time. You know?
I was there. Watching you all.
No, if you were there, you know how funny it was. Because first he was trying to do it with a straw.
I watched it. Whatever I could stomach, I watched it. I was there. I was thinking, what is the matter with these people?
He was like, he had a straw in the fucking Bacardi bottle.
I'll tell you what, though. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I still find Chris funnier than any of you lot. Like, I was watching that video of his with the Chinese woman who he tried to get in the car of. That was, he gave me that clip.
This is the
That was
definition of a public pretender seeking attention and acceptance from the world.
Melanie shits on her muffin.
I did show my dick to a little kid or whatever you want to call it, but guess what? I admit that. I know it's a mistake. I know it was fucked up. I was also blacked out on Xanax.
that's what I was saying
More
before.
than
But
30 of them. You understand? And when I seen the video, this fucking kid was like, "Yo, show me your balls," and he doesn't look like he's fucking 15 or 14 or none of that shit. He looks like he's like 18, 19. He said, "Show me your balls," right? So I whipped out my balls, and then he turned the camera towards little kids. I admit that though. It's obviously scumbag. I obviously did it. But guess what? That's confessing your sins. If God asks me that, I'm gonna tell him that. I'm not gonna say, "Oh no, Porky, I never did that." No,
Well,
Porky,
I
you
mean,
caught me
you know, I
unprotected
love you,
at home.
Chris, but we can't just
Yeah,
like
gay.
rely on God for
That's
everything.
a different
It's the
story.
same thing that I told, like, you know, at Huntsville. Dude, stop pulling your pants down. I know that you think, you know, that it's, you know, turning the other cheek, but it's not funny. It's there might be a kid watching you. You know what I mean? You know, I love you.
There was one time.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
No, I know you weren't, but there was a time where he was in DC with a kid showing his cock.
Dude, he was telling me that he had to ban all sorts of kids out of there.
Yeah, because he was hanging out with weird people like Bruno and that. Told him not to. I also told him, I know your neighbor is a Fed. What the fuck are you doing, you retard? If I catch you doing that again, I'll be making a call.
Why are you doxing him and swatting him with Gamble?
Me? I never swatted him. No, I never swatted anyone. I don't believe in.
You and your boyfriend Gamble have been doing that.
Who are you talking to?
Talking to you.
I've never swatted anybody in my life. I don't believe in wasting police resources. I had a check. Boss Blazer back in the day, but I was genuinely worried about him. But no, I don't believe in wasting police resources. Just leave it at that. Yeah. Nope. And I've called Campbell out many times, and this last time, the reason why I started talking about him again is because I came back to the internet and I saw him doing same shit and swatting Chris, and I was like, oh fuck, no. And I got mad. It triggered me. I got mad. It's just like 30-year-old man in it, you know, picking on Chris because Chris is an easy target, you know, because he's like doxed already, you know.
Wait, but Chris is like 32, is 30 as well, though.
Yeah, but Chris has done things, as he's said, as he's pointed out. He's done things in the
Basically
past.
like the same guy. They both live with their parents. They're like in their 30s. They don't have
Well,
jobs.
Controller's the same. Controller's the same.
Yeah, Chris and
But
Gamble are like almost the same person, basically.
Really? One went to private school. One was brought up privileged. One wasn't.
I mean, I would say Chris is pretty privileged. I mean, his dad owns like a tire shop or whatever.
That's not privileged compared to being a.
Yeah, but
They live in
it's
a
privileged
nice. They
compared
live
to a
in a
lot of
nice
people. I mean, he
neighborhood.
gets to live in like a nice house in a nice neighborhood, basically rent free.
The reason that makes Chris an easy target that Chris did the things that he said just a short while ago, right? So that's always going to be there. So everybody's always going to be able to use that.
Gamble literally got Chris off of fentanyl.
Are you sure about that? I don't know.
Yeah, he got him to trip on DXM and he quit doing fentanyl. And I mean, he did like Xans for a little while later, but I would argue that like his interactions with Gamble got him on the path to getting off drugs.
But then I've witnessed Gamble like making multiple people do DXM, you know, or advising they do DXM.
You think
because
DXM is like an addictive drug?
it's a shit cough medicine, and he'll end up with a colostomy bag if he hasn't quit that shit already. It doesn't bring you up higher to God, you
Yeah,
know.
but
It's
it's
not like
not. It's
Joe
not
Rogan's
addictive. Though.
DMT.
It's like acid or something. It's not addictive.
Maybe it's not addictive, but allow me to elaborate on the fact that my father had early onset of Alzheimer's, and I'm pretty sure it's to do with the fact that he did a shitload of LSD, like when he used to go out and watch Pink Floyd and the Rolling Stones and whatnot. Yeah, it's not a good thing.
You think
Yes,
LSD causes dementia?
yeah, I've
You
seen
have
enough.
any studies that show that, or is that
I,
just,
I believe I do. I mean, don't ask me to look
are
for
you
it
just like,
today.
well, my dad has the dementia and he did some
It's
acid, so they
not my
must.
dad alone. I was brought up in a commune, and with a bunch of hippies,
Oh yeah, one of
and
those MI6 communes.
uh, you're getting funnier by the moment.
Over
How
in
can it
New
not?
Mexico.
It's a psychedelic drug. It's a mind altering substance. Do you think it has absolutely no repercussions?
No, but I'm saying like when a drug causes a condition, usually people like there's some sort of a study like showing that, like
The studies For the studies to be that, there needs to, and you know this, I know you're trick questioning me, there needs to be a certain amount of years that pass, for science
people
to
have been doing
establish.
acid since the 50s,
Yeah, I tried it myself when I
like
was in
mainstream.
in my teens, late teens. But I
Oh, is
still
that why
believe.
you have dementia?
No, I only did it twice. Psychedelics are not for me. I'm not into.
How many
Like,
times do you have to do it before you get dementia?